Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Leo October 2022 Miracle Message reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So in this reading today, we are going to be taking a look at a miracle that wants to come in for you guys this month. And when I'm talking about a miracle, this is a beautiful opportunity from Spirit to help come in and elevate or level up or answer a prayer to some aspect of your experience that you're really looking for that expansion in. Now, this is going to be a little less in depth compared to my monthly illumination readings, but this is really meant to help open us up to what I feel always wants to come in for us, that helping hand, that beautiful little opportunity for prosperity in some aspect of our experience. So Leo, we're going to jump right in here. I'm going to first read the description that comes with this oracle deck for this card. And then we're going to pull additional cards and clarifiers and get deeper into the message to really help kind of point you in the direction as to where to open yourself up for this miracle to come in. So we have a change in the wind, number 12. Now, I love the number 12 because for me, this is really the number of God. It's the number of the grand design. It reduces to the number 3, which is also about creativity. And it's about greeting life with a kind of innocent optimism of a child. So I like the picture on here. It's a zebra kind of with this strange, almost like a gazebo tied to its back, but you can see the wind is changing, and there's the little north-south indicator on the top there. And there's something here with the zebra specifically that's showing, when we kind of think about the age-old, not the age-old, but the saying that, a zebra can't change its stripes. And there's this feeling here I'm getting of you kind of becoming comfortable with those stripes, that you're not looking for yourself to change, and you're kind of you're finding an anchor in yourself, that that things around you might be changing, and that in staying true to who you are and really allowing your stripes to be seen, that you can allow yourself to be ready for the miracle that wants to come in with all the change coming in. So it might seem a little chaotic external to yourself, but in reality, there's something beautiful that wants to come in for you. And I think the actual saying is something like a cheetah can't change its spots, but I'm applying this. It came through intuitively to apply it to the zebra. So we're going to do that here. Okay, so number 12. A change in the wind, essential meanings. It says a sense that unseen change has been initiated, preparation for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. And it says the oracle's message. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. I'm also going to read the prosperity message here because this is also what we're calling in, the prosperity that wants to come into some aspect of your experience. So it says, as you endeavor to create a prosperous life, you may encounter unexpected reversals that cause you to shift directions. This is a good thing, so there is nothing to fear. Perhaps an opportunity you sought went to someone else. Perhaps you've pursued something that you suddenly realize is not in your highest good. You might not be 100% clear on where you need to go, but you are certain that things are not going as planned. Circumstances are not in your control right now. Wait it out. All will be well. Even better, actually. Trust. So I do like this. I know this might seem like an unsettling message as to, well, things aren't going to go as I planned. What do you mean things are shifting or going backwards? And this is saying, I think, that is a perspective shift. And hold on just a moment, guys. My apologies. I had to step away for just a minute. But what I was saying with the perspective shift is that sometimes we can take a look at things not going the way that we had anticipated or what we were expecting and say, it's not going right. It's not, the change is not what I want. And then we try to almost like, we get scared. We force ourselves to try to withdraw from the change of our expectations. And instead, this is saying you can get firm within who you are to understand that, yes, your stripes are not going to change, but that your external environment may be changing at this time to go kind of beyond your expectations or what you were anticipating to happen to be able to better fit your stripes. So we'll see what comes out with the rest of the message here. But I really do feel that the miracle is going to come in and how well. So when we're thinking about this as kind of like the compass point for looking for the miracle that wants to come in and being prepared for the prosperity that wants to come in for you, this is really showing you where to open up your spiritual eyes and ears and where to look. And so for you, this is really opening it up to who are you? Where are you grounded in the knowledge of what you know about yourself and who you are and what you bring to the table in any situation. And then the realization is almost like being the eye of the storm, that everything else can kind of go crazy around you. But to know that once the dust settles, once everything calms down, as long as you've stayed true to yourself and you've kind of walked through that with faith, that the opportunity that's going to come in is going to be better suited for the person that you are as you go through that experience. So this month is really about staying true to who you are, honoring those stripes, maybe perhaps even showing those stripes a little bit more, and using that part of yourself to, again, be the kind of compass point, the eye of the storm as to where to go to continue to move with the storm instead of kind of against the storm. So I'm going to pull a card now for the concept of curiosity. And this is going to be a point where Spirit would like you to see where you are, perhaps, to be curious about where you might be pushing or blocking the miracle that is ready to come in for you away. So we have two cards that came out. Ooh, and I love it. So you have the third chakra here with Archangel Chamuel. And what's great about the third chakra is that this is really a chakra that's in alignment with you, Leo. So Leo, you are a sign ruled by the sun. You are actually the only sign ruled by the sun. And that really does speak to harnessing our third chakra, which is our solar plexus chakra. That's really owning who we are, being able to shine the light from ourselves. And this also is where our ego is centered within ourselves. And sometimes that ego, it can get a bad rap. We can tend to look at the ego as that part of ourself where we're afraid to shine our light because somebody might look at us and say, wow, that's a little too bright for me. Why don't you tone it down? And with the angel of love coming in here with the third chakra, I think for some of you, this is about really stepping into that place of self-love. And I'm really feeling that intuitively for you, of owning the light that you shine, being willing. When you look at this individual here, this individual is proudly taking into account who they are, because that's the ego, right? It's the I am. It's understanding who you are and what you uniquely shine out into the world, but doing so from a place of really balanced power. I like that the light is not only here within himself, but there's also within his heart chakra and then also in the crown chakra. So it's really showing that balance between understanding who you are in relation to what you love about yourself, what you love about others, and then also where you fit into the greater collective experience, because this is the higher power coming in here. So this is a very balanced, very, I feel, courageous, kind of lion-hearted, which is very much within your wheelhouse, Leo, energy coming in. But I think for some of you with the angel of love, where we're being curious at where we are perhaps blocking ourselves from this miracle that wants to come in, is maybe where are you not comfortable with certain parts of yourself? When we think of showing our stripes and using that as kind of the anchor in the change, where perhaps are you dimming your light? To not maybe there's a new job that wants to come in that's going to better honor what you bring to the table or allow you to shine even brighter. Maybe you're not being allowed to shine where you are currently, or even in a current relationship. So there's something here around really allowing yourself to step into that. Don't block yourself from self-love, and don't block yourself from loving others as well, because there could also be this component here where maybe some of you are in a relationship and you're afraid to go to that place. You're afraid to really go to that highly vulnerable, here I am showing myself as who I am in my relationship, and being afraid that the love might not be reciprocated. And I think for a lot of you, this is where the miracle's coming in, which is very beautiful for you because you rule the heart chakra as well. So there's this element of really ruling that place of love in our experience. And it's not emotions, it's love. It's being able to understand too the leadership, the courage that it takes to lead from a place of love. And that love starts with self-love. We can't love anybody else in our experience to the fullest extent until we understand that we need to love ourselves and our stripes and honor them. And then we can bring that love outward into our experience. Now I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. So we're going to see really what Spirit would like you to know about this. But I do feel that there's a beautiful opportunity to go through this month with this like open-hearted sense of, here I am, whatever comes my way, I'm going to step up and shine myself to the brightest extent. And I'm going to actually see what honors that better. Maybe I had tried to go down and walk a specific path, and what Spirit's showing me now, with things not going quite the way that I had anticipated, what is better suited to this part of myself. Spirit is showing me love for who I am by allowing something better to come in. Ooh, the Emperor. Yeah. So there's something here around really, I love the image on this specific card in this deck, where it shows an individual who is literally realizing that he might have been stuck in a box and he might have felt trapped, and he's really at this point realized he can pick that box up and kind of throw it off or look at it from a different perspective even by picking it up. So there's this really strong feeling coming in of really understanding that maybe perhaps, there's a thinking outside the box. There's a realizing of maybe where you've played it too small, where you kind of put yourself in this box. Now it's kind of, this is that moment to break out, Leo. I really am feeling the breakout moment. And sometimes for something to break out, we have to have the winds of change come in to kind of clear out the clutter, to clear out what is perhaps blocking us from seeing outside the box, from seeing a new perspective, from really allowing us to kind of step up into our power and say, you know what, I don't care what changes around me. It's not changing me. Yeah, and the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands can be a card of burnout. It can be a card of, look how far I've come. The beautiful element here is, I think for some of you, you've been working a long ways towards something. And this is saying that you really have this ability to step into a really strong, confident position of power. That's really what the Emperor speaks to here. The Emperor also harnesses the energy of Aries, and we have Aries. We have some sign going, and I apologize, guys. We do have a sign going retrograde in Aries, and so there is a lot of focus right now on the sign of Aries and actually on the sign of Libra as well, because we are in Libra season. And so there's this element of kind of balancing the I am with the who am I in relationships and in relationships to other things in my life, like my work experience or my family, etc. So really look at where you feel you've been working for a long time towards something. And there might be something here that comes in and you've been working and working and working maybe towards, let's say, a work advancement. You've been working towards getting that promotion, and suddenly your work comes in and says, there's not going to be any promotion. We gave it to that guy instead. And this is when you realize it's not about throwing away all that work you've put into something. It's about staying true to who you are, honoring that, and saying, well, you know what? I'm going to look at this as an opportunity instead of as something negative, because this is an opportunity for me to level up now and realize maybe I've gotten all I can out of this work environment and there's something more for me out there. And this might be where then you go and you talk to a recruiter or a friend, or you just start to apply, and suddenly not only do you get a job offer that comes in that's, better suited to who you are, but it might be at 2 times the pay rate and it might pleasantly shock you. Or this could be perhaps where you've been working a long time to reach a specific maybe relationship goal, and suddenly that gets pulled out from under you. Instead of the person, let's say, proposing to you, they instead break up with you. And this is the realization of, wow, I've been working towards something that obviously this person didn't honor who I was, didn't love who I was. Now, it could be the opposite. It could be that you've just been in a relationship and all of a sudden the person surprises you with a proposal, and it kind of catches you out of the blue. And again, that's a change in the wind. You might not have been expecting that. Or this can be when all of a sudden you get that the job offer that requires you to move to another geographic location, or your spouse comes to you and says, sweetheart, my job is transferring me to Houston. It's one of those kinds of things where something outside of your control might come down the pipeline, but it's also that it can better suit who you are and to better allow you to bring out this part of yourself that I think when we're thinking about the block here, I think a lot of you have kind of blocked yourself from stepping into your full power by just kind of keeping your eye on a prize, getting to that top of the hill. But I think what Spirit's trying to tell you this month is that top of the hill is just the beginning. There's so much more for you out there at this point, and for you to really step up into this emperor position and kind of throw off what's been holding you back. You've outgrown the box you've put yourself in. There's going to be something that comes in, and that's where the miracle is coming in. So don't be afraid or get upset if, again, you don't get that promotion, or you don't achieve that ultimate thing you've been working towards, or suddenly you've been looking in this direction and now you finally have to move in that direction. It's saying that's where the miracle is coming. So this is a really positive shift for you guys. And it's hard. I mean, I know I battle with when things don't quite go to your expectations, and it can be difficult. But it's also very fun when we get into that place of maybe even saying a mantra to ourselves where I am ready for this and anything greater to come in. Sometimes it allows us to kind of release that need to have it come out in a specific way. And when we think about, I'm ready for this or something better, well, that's something better. Wouldn't you rather have that? Even if you can't picture it or imagine what that is, I'd rather have something better than what I can imagine. So here's a card for the concept of courage. So this is what Spirit would like you to have the courage to do, to be able to allow for this miracle to come in, kind of give it a grounding place. So we have surrender to setting limits. It says it is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. And I like that because when we think about really stepping in and honoring our power, honoring our I am, that does require us to reevaluate how we are honoring that in relationship to other people, to people within our work environment, people within our home environment, our family and friend dynamics. And so this is saying to really have the courage this month to set limits that allow you to shine at your brightest. So to not overcommit yourself to something, that if your work says we're not giving you the promotion, but we're also going to give you 2 additional projects with no additional incentive, to say, you know what? No, this is too much. And maybe now this is time for me to shake off the box and look elsewhere. Or, in your home life, this might be where suddenly you realize, to get back into this place of power for myself, I need to set limits around the time that I need to focus on a creative project or something that's going to allow me that as things are changing in my external environment brings me back to me and allows me to really step up into that place of loving myself, maybe even allowing others to love me through supporting the boundaries and the limits that I put in place. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some additional clarifiers just to see if there's an underlying story around that wants to come out. So let's go ahead and see here. All right. So Leo, what do you need to know about surrendering to setting limits? 8 of Cups. Yeah. There's something that you need to walk away from that no longer emotionally suits you or that you're invested in. Oh, and the 2 of Wands. Yeah. This is about making a change. The 2 of Wands is a decision as to where to take action. It's a decision as to where do you want to go from this point. And the 8 of Cups is, again, that walking away from something that no longer is emotionally fulfilling for us. So this can be, and that can be a difficult thing because the 8 of Cups really shows how much emotion you have, emotional energy you have poured into the 8 Cups trying to make something work. And at this point, you're saying, I'm looking at it and it's just not doing it for me anymore. The workplace that I'd worked so hard to get up to this level, maybe I no longer care for the work I'm actually doing. Or maybe I'm realizing that there's a relationship. The dynamic no longer suits me. And now I need to know, okay, if it no longer suits me, well, where do I need to go from here? And that's the 2 of Wands, making that decision. And the setting of limits is going to allow you to be able to make that decision. So when something shifts and changes in your life this month, and again, it doesn't have to be a massive change. It doesn't have to be that, you get denied the promotion or your significant other breaks up with you. This can literally just be that, you had plans this month for something to go a specific way. You wanted a project or a presentation to go in a specific way and it just wasn't received well, or maybe you expected 150,000 people to show up to an event and only 50,000 show up. It's something along those lines where just something outside of your expectations just didn't quite go in the way that you anticipated, but in the way that happens, it's going to subtly show you where there's something that no longer resonates with your heart. And that's going to show you also where you're no longer emotionally invested in something or something that you at one point, again, had really wanted to make happen. That's why you put so much emotional investment into something. But now it's allowing you to say, okay, if I'm walking away from this, well, where am I taking action to walk towards? And setting limits is going to allow you to really say, okay, it's like the person, the emperor, throwing off of his box over here. If he's going to throw away the old box, well, now he needs to start building the structure for the new, bigger box. And that's going to be kind of a long-term vision for yourself. This is that first step on the, fork in the road, so to speak. Okay. Your reading is very different than the other readings I've done so far, Leo. This is a much kind of broader change for you. It's more of an internal shift, I think, into appreciating who you are and what you bring to the table. This month, I think the miracle is really going to be you realizing just where you can step up into a position of leadership for yourself and where that can actually become, where you can actually level up in the material sense by capitalizing on that. Okay, so we have awakening. So this is a card for contemplation. It's where spirit would like you to stay reflective for the month. So it says awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. I like that. So when we think about energetic upgrades and awakening, this is exactly what I was speaking to. There's this part of you that's kind of awakening at this point to the realization of kind of where you've been boxed in, where you've boxed in yourself perhaps, and kind of getting to this place of the a burnout, kind of the weary warrior who's been on this quest to get to the top of the mountain. And now you're realizing I can throw that off. I can create the adventure I want for myself, but I'm so much more than I've been giving myself credit for. And there's this element here of like a new way of being an integration. You're integrating, I think, the older part of yourself and this new part of yourself that you have yet to really experience and run with. So it's a beautiful energy. Ooh, we have a card that comes right out. Oh, I like it. So it says, so we have Beaver Spirit. It says, lay a solid foundation. Number 6. Number 6 is the energy of love. It's the energy of family and home and building towards something together with a spiritual common goal. But I do like that it says lay a solid foundation. And it's laying a foundation based on who you are today, based on what you bring, based on this beautiful reconnection to who you are and what more you are truly capable of. So I do feel a lot of you have, again, been playing it small. You've boxed yourself in, and you maybe haven't realized how small your external environment has gotten around you because you're not recognizing how big you've truly grown. And so this is that beautiful month where you can really, again, kind of almost come out of the box and realize as you're doing that whatever has put you in this box, be it a family dynamic, be it a work environment, be it a significant partnership in your life, that there's something here that no longer suits you and that it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to set the limits and start to build the foundation for what is going to support this new, bigger, brighter you. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a final card for the energy of love. And this is going to be, now this can be, I'll read it in 2 ways. We'll read it towards romantic love, but we'll also read it as well as just an extra message to kind of underlie this entire reading with just a general message of an extra, I'm sorry guys, I got distracted by something on the screen, but just an extra message wanting to come through to kind of really underscore the main reading here. So we have playfulness. Oh, I love that for you. So Leo, this really, this plays so much to your energy. I feel like this month, you might feel like, whoa, it's a little busy and crazy and this is happening and that's happening and it's almost like a whirlwind's coming in, but there's an element of where you can have fun with that. So again, have fun with the unexpected. That's strongly coming through here. It says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So this is a beautiful month to roll with the punches. Liberate yourself from wherever you're feeling constrained. This is a great month to really sit there and see, kind of test your own limits and your own boundaries and say, where do I feel pinched? Where does that not work for me anymore? Where, like, when I have, this would be almost like a friend calling you up and saying, hey, I showed up in town. Would you love to come to this concert with me? And you want to go out to dinner and we can go see the sights. And you're like, well, my work really doesn't allow me to take time off short notice. And I'd love to. And all of a sudden now you're feeling pinched by your work, constraints. All of a sudden your friend coming into town and kind of being this unexpected point of energy is showing you where maybe you realize I would like to work in a more flexible work environment. And you know what? I have worked here for 25 years. And how come I can't just take an afternoon off? Or, it's one of those moments where it's like whatever it is that comes in out of the blue is going to show you that little kind of almost like pinprick of ouch. It's too tight. It doesn't fit anymore. When I try to put myself back in the box, I realize I can't. I kind of grew in this weird way, but I can't put myself back in the box now. So keep that in mind, that as you're going through, I think there's going to be opportunities to really have fun and put yourself out there, and that, you're going to be able to kind of shake off that box. And then suddenly when you feel like you have to go back inside, that's really where it's going to show you where that miracle wants to come in, where it's like the opportunity to do something new and that's more appropriate to you. It's going to allow you again to level up is over here. not where you've been for all this time. And I do love, though, that it says, let your inner youthful spirit of fun shine. So for those of you who are in a romantic relationship, have fun with it. Roll with the punches, spend time together, and just have fun. We can think about change as this kind of scary, tumultuous, stormy thing, or we can look at it as going outside and kissing in the rain. So, or for those of you who have kids, or if you've been a kid yourself, which we all have been, it's going out there and, sliding around in the mud or playing tackle football when it's messy out there. It's one of those moments where we kind of realize, where we are in a certain kind of buttoned up place in our adult life can kind of get thrown to the wind when we realize we can just have fun in the mess at times. And that's the beauty of being in the present moment. But that's also going to allow you to see maybe where you've been holding yourself back and where it's time to step up into your full power. And that's where the opportunity and the miracle's waiting for you this month, Leo. All right. I hope you all have a wonderfully empowering, fun, out of the box kind of month. If you'd like to book a personal reading to really illuminate more about who you are uniquely and where your spiritual importance can be of service to the greater collective experience, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website and just learn a little bit more about the services I offer and myself. If I don't see you there, Leo, I hope to see you in next month's illumination reading. Bye, everyone.